I'd like to call to order the Washington Township Regular School Board meeting for Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. And for the record, show that all 5 board members are present. As we always do with our meetings, we kick them off with the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you all those aren't standing, please stand as we do the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First, I'll repeat a message that Dr. Woodson said. Those that are standing, you won't be standing very long. This part, the recognition part, goes rather quickly. So please bear with us, as this is typically our normal size of our meeting. So unfortunately, we didn't have enough chairs for you. One of the things I'd like to say, first of all, and I know he's coming soon, Dr. Woodson has been, she has an Eastwood student, Torrance Harris, that will be joining us up at the beginning of the meeting to help Dr. Woodson with recognitions. He wants to become a superintendent at some point, so he's shadowing Dr. Woodson. So as soon as he arrives, he's kind of stuck in traffic. He'll come up front and we'll recognize him again. So the first item on the agenda is board recognitions. Dr. Taylor.
Thank you, President Turner, Dr. Woodson, members of the board. Good evening, Washington Township School community. We have a wonderful list of amazing staff and students to recognize tonight. We understand that many of you are here for the recognitions. Please know that this portion won't take long and you're welcome to leave once all recognitions have concluded. To help things run efficiently, we will ask the next person or group to be recognized to meet out in the hallway by exiting the rear door prior to their recognition and come in the board doors closest to where Dr. Woodson is, where Mr. Blom's waving right now, so that we can help again with smooth efficiencies this evening, since we do have quite the lineup. We will ask each person or group being recognized to meet Dr. Woodson first when you come inside, get your medallion, and then shake hands with the board as I share about your recognition. Please pause at the center of the board table after you shake everyone's hand for a quick photo. Staff members who are here supporting the award recipients, you may join in for the photo. Family and friends are also welcome to snap a photo of the recipient as well for their own keepsake. So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll start with Mrs. Hazlitt. Please join Dr. Woodson in the front of the boardroom, while Northview student London Pickett, you are on deck in the hallway. So Mrs. Hazlitt, come on up. Thank you for following procedures, Mrs. Hazlitt. Congratulations to Mrs. Crystal Hazlitt, Coordinator of Student Support Services, for being recognized as a finalist for the Indiana Center for Prevention of Youth Abuse and Suicide's Chelsea's Champion 2025. Mrs. Hazlitt was recognized at the Rise Up for Kids breakfast. Congratulations, Mrs. Hazlitt. It's an honor to share in this recognition with you. If North Central student Lene Goody could be on deck in the hallway next. Next up, we proudly recognize London Pickett, Northview Middle School student, for her outstanding completion of the Youth Leadership Initiative program, sponsored by Chi Chi Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. During a 9-month program, London committed herself to discovering what it means to be a leader both in school and in the community. She actively built her leadership skills through hands-on workshops, committee involvement, and thoughtful project planning. Throughout her journey, she took advantage of opportunities to learn from professionals across Indianapolis who shared valuable insights and experiences. Stepping outside her comfort zone, London embraced diverse cultures and perspectives, broadening her worldview and growing into a well-rounded young leader. And we'll go ahead and move forward. She's not here. All right, if I have applause. If student journalism and Mr. Gata and crew could be on deck in the hallway. Our next recognition is Lene Goody. It is with great pride that we recognize North Central High School senior Lene for her exceptional academic achievement. Lene has been awarded a prestigious academic scholarship to the University of Indianapolis, valued at approximately $34,416 per year over 4 years. She earned this scholarship through her involvement in the Center for Leadership Development Scholarship Program. Her exceptional academic performance was recognized and celebrated at the CLD Minority Achievers Awards and Scholarship Gala in April. Lene's achievement highlights both our district's dedication to preparing students for post-secondary success and the meaningful impact of our partnership with the Center for Leadership Development. Congratulations. North Central Symphony Orchestra staff and students, please be on deck in the hallway. We welcome Mr. Gaeta and his journalism students. Congratulations to student journalists Ashton Doris, Lene Goody, and Sam Wolf for their outstanding work under the leadership of Mr. Gaeta, Polytechnic Department Chair and Director of Student Media at North Central. For the 4th consecutive year, student journalists from North Central High School and NCHS Live were named finalists for the National Scholastic Press Association Innovation Pacemaker Award. Impressively, NCHS Live has been a finalist every year the award has been presented, winning twice, and continues to be the only Indiana school to receive this honor. This year, just 5 schools nationwide were selected as finalists. Congratulations. Eastwood Health HOSA students and staff could be on deck now in the hallway at this time. Next, we recognize North Central Symphony Orchestra. Over spring break, the North Central Symphony Orchestra, under the direction of Mr. Elliot Lentz, traveled to Seattle, Washington for an unforgettable experience. The trip included opportunities for learning and growth, such as private rehearsal and clinic with Dr. David Robbie at the University of Washington, and a session with Dr. James Ray, Associate Professor of Music Education at Western Washington University. Students also had the chance to deepen their understanding of the arts and culture during visits to the Space Needle and the Chihuly Glass Gardens. The group also participated in a boat cruise through Elliott Harbor, gaining a broader perspective on the region's history and environment. The trip culminated in a remarkable performance at the Seattle Heritage Festival, where the NC Symphony Orchestra earned several top honors, the Adjudicator Award and Outstanding Orchestra, as well as overall first place. Congratulations to the North Central Symphony Orchestra on these outstanding. Those are Anje Arabagiza, Elijah Ferguson, Maya Paraskevas, Logan Berry, Janu Huddy, Lucy Wicksburg, Ella Angel, Lucille Roth, James Paul, Enori Ogawa, Waige Shi, Bryson Seal, Oliver Herring, Bree Worthman, Gavin Tharp, Noah Davis, Emily Poe, and Bella Yeager. Congratulations again. I'd like to ask the North Central students who are part of the Super Smash Bros group to be on deck in the hallway. That's right, Super Smash Bros group in the hallway. Next, recognitions for Eastwood HOSA Future Health Professional students. This past month, 10 of our Eastwood students earned college scholarships at the HOSA State Leadership Conference, and they've qualified to represent Eastwood at the HOSA International Leadership Conference this summer. Eastwood is one of only 2 middle schools in the state competing in HOSA, and our students are not only meeting high school level expectations, but exceeding them, making a name for Eastwood at both the state and national levels. At the conference, Lauren Stover secured first place in prepared speaking, with Reese Long finishing in second. In the Exploring Medical Innovations category, Sophia Capehart, Ella Chamorro and Jade Gonzalez claimed first place, while Ethan Erickson and Matt Mwanga earned first place in veterinary science. Additionally, Maddie Hen and Sophia Rodeheffer achieved second place in the health career display. Congratulations, Eagles. Middle school students representing the Pearls Club, please go to the hallway to be on deck. Welcome next to the Super Smash Brothers, or SSBU electronic sports team. The SSBU team members are Jaden Barker, Kenneth Ellis, Alexandra Jones, and Jonathan Valvo. Additionally, student Darian Shores was a semifinalist for Madden 25 for the fall season playoffs. Although the Rocket League team did not hit quarterfinals in the fall playoffs, two of their students ranked among the highest in the entire league for the fall season. That was Ian Gonzalez Zamora, who scored the third highest in the league. Colin Deserich scored the fifth highest in the league. Esports coaches for this season's were Jasmine Holiday, Leland Lockhart, Felina Martinez, Joshua Surface, and Tyler Stevenson. Congratulations to our esports team. Utility and military NC students, please go to the hallway to be on deck. Please join us now in welcoming the members of the Pearls Club from all of our middle schools. We are so proud to recognize 4 Washington Township Middle School students. That's Caden Davis of Northview, Riley Cooper of West Lane, and Jalen Rent of Eastwood, as well as Kimberly Haskins, also of Northview, for their participation in the Pearls Club for the 2024-2025 year. This 7th-month mentorship and scholarship program, sponsored by the Emerging Pearls Foundation and the Chi Chi Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, fosters leadership, education, and personal growth for students in grades 6 through 8. Jalen Rent achieved the highest GPA among all 6th graders, while Caden Davis earned the highest GPA among 7th graders and received the Presence of a Pearl Award for her overall growth and leadership. Riley Cooper earned 2nd place in the Alice Walker Essay category and was named first runner-up for the prestigious Miss Pearl Award. These remarkable achievements reflect their dedication, excellence, and bright futures ahead. Congratulations. Allisonville Math Bowl team, you are now on deck. Next, we'd like to honor North Central High School seniors Bruce Lisman III, Curtis Jacks, and Alexander Smiley for completing the 39th Annual Battalion Military Scholarship Program, a prestigious 24-session rite of passage for African-American young men in Central Indiana. Sponsored by 100 Black Men of Indianapolis and Jack and Jill of America, the program focuses on leadership, financial literacy, and college and career readiness. Bruce will study architecture at Ball State University, chirp, chirp. Alexander will pursue animal science at Tuskegee University, and Curtis will study cybersecurity at Loyola University, Chicago. Congratulations to these exceptional young men.
Proud of you. I'll see you.
Amber Jackson, Miss Amber Jackson, you are on deck in the hallway. Next, we welcome the Allisonville Math Bowl team, who placed in the top 10 in the state in the Elementary Math Bowl competition, which is an event for grades 4 through 6. This achievement highlights their outstanding problem solving and teamwork. Congratulations to the team, which includes Josie Barr, Riley Crow, Betsy Chisholm, Ryder Doctor, Rory Dudgeon, Evan Ekval, Wesley Hershey, Vivian Hood, Caleb Legato, Quinn McFarland, Jackson Mitchell, Lauren Shearer, Nate Shoulders, Chloe Snow, Kara Stocks, and Abe Woodward. Congratulations, mathletes. If the representatives from the Washington Township Schools Foundation and the sponsors of the Washington Township Schools Foundation could meet in the hallway, you are on deck next. Congratulations to Miss Amber Jackson, Early Learning Center developmental preschool teacher, on receiving the Indiana Early Childhood Champion Award. This well-deserved recognition honors your dedication to early intervention and special education in Indiana. Your commitment to fostering strong, trusting relationships with students and families truly embodies the mission of this award, providing a meaningful educational experience for every early learner. Congratulations, Miss Amber Jackson. North Central student Kevin Diaz, please go to the hallway as you're on deck next. This next recognition involves several groups as we welcome the Washington Township Schools Foundation and their incredible sponsors. The Washington Township Schools Foundation has provided millions of dollars in private support for our schools, made possible by their dedicated sponsors. A full list of partners contributing over $70,000 for Washington Township students in 2025 is available in your board materials and at WTSfoundation.org. Tonight, we recognize the 6 companies at the master's and graduate sponsorship levels. That's Schmidt Associates, represented by Eric Bramel, Bose McKinney and Evans, represented by John Mays, Business Furniture, represented by CEO Mary Beth Oakes and Dana Tolnan, Huntington Learning Center, represented by Lisa Frazier and Bob Mack, Searles Acres Howard Wealth Management, represented by Greg Akers, who could not attend, and Stiefel Endeavor Investment Group, represented by Steve Pratt, who also could not attend. Thank you to these 6 master's and graduate level sponsors and to the other 23 businesses who prioritize Washington Township Schools and their support this year, benefiting our students directly. Thank you very much. Now, if representatives from Everwise could join Dr. Woodson at the front of the room for this next recognition. And we'd also like Washington Township Schools Foundation to remain up front as well. Please welcome Kevin Diaz. Kevin. Kevin and his family were not informed of the details, but Dr. Woodson has a big surprise. With support from the North Central administration, Dr. Woodson has selected Kevin for the 2025 Superintendent Scholarship sponsored by Everwise Credit Union. We are thrilled to award Kevin this $2,000 scholarship made possible by Everwise Credit Union and the Washington Township Schools Foundation. It gets better. It gets better. Wait. Kevin will be the first in his family to attend college, despite facing significant personal and family challenges, including a devastating house fire. Kevin's academic performance steadily improved. By his junior year, he took on rigorous coursework and is set to graduate with a Core 40 in academic honors diploma. A dedicated, avid student, Kevin embodies resilience, integrity, and determination. This fall, he will attend IU Indy to pursue pre-law. This marks the 14th year that Everwise has partnered with the Washington Township Schools Foundation to award this scholarship. We sincerely thank Everwise and their representatives, Taya Bynum, Leslie Green, Jennifer Stansberry, and Jana Nakarmi, as well as Mrs. Kaiser, for making this scholarship possible. Unlike most academic scholarships, This award recognizes a student who has shown extraordinary resilience, growth, and transformation as a North Central High School student. Kevin, we're extremely proud of you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations again to all of our phenomenal students and staff. I'll turn it back over to you, President Turner. Thank you.
Thank you. And again, as we said earlier, if you are eager to leave, now's a good time that you can leave. You don't have to. The meetings are open to the public, but oh, wow. Okay. But feel free. And thanks, everybody.
Take care. That was very efficient.
Yeah, that was. As
Shadows.
yeah. As we continue with the meeting, before our next item on the agenda, I'd just like to say that Torrance was able to make it, so Torrance is in the house, so thank you for coming in and helping out. So next item on the agenda is school spotlight, for Clearwater, Mrs. Douglas. And just as a reminder, unfortunately, the front board does not work, although the board can see the presentation. So turn it over to you.
All right, thank you. So, first of all, I'd just like to celebrate some of the amazing things happening at Clearwater. First of all, we have a phenomenal staff. We have many staff members who have worked at our school for a very long time or been in the district for a very long time. So I think that is definitely a point of pride. But this year we had 20 different clubs led by staff members. We had everything from dance club to art club, running, yoga, Lego, pretty much anything you can come up with. We had a club for it. And we had a wait list for our clubs. Kids were very, very excited to join into all of those things. We also have a phenomenal music teacher, Mary Beth Smith, who puts on amazing shows every year. She does a second grade and a fourth grade performance every year. We just had our second grade performance last week, and we had tons of people there, standing room only. So it's pretty amazing to see. We also have a small group of teachers and coaches who attended PD in January and have been leading a school-wide initiative to increase student engagement. And that's been extremely successful. We do attribute that student engagement to some of our success with our test scores. So we're excited to continue that work next year as well. As far as our students, I think we have the best students in the district at Clearwater. We have 50 fourth and fifth graders who serve as mentors for some of our younger students. We're going to be celebrating a few of them here in just a little bit. We also have 80 students who serve as student librarians and help shelve books and keep our library looking really nice. So we have lots of leadership opportunities for our fourth and fifth graders at Clearwater. We're also excited to celebrate our robotics team. Mr. Harris led our robotics team this year. They attended 2 different competitions. We've acquired a few more VEX kits and are excited to expand our robotics team next year. We'll have a few more teams that get to compete, and we're very excited about the work that we're doing in our STEM classes with increasing some of those opportunities for students as well. And the biggest point of pride is really our test scores at Clearwater. We have a lot to celebrate. We are consistently outperforming all of the other schools in the district when it comes to iRead, iLearn, MClass, all of the assessments. And that really is because we have amazing students and staff at Clearwater with very high expectations. So a lot to celebrate when it comes to that. We also have a phenomenal school community. So we have a very supportive PTO. We'll be celebrating our presidents here in just a little bit. They provide teacher grants, teacher appreciation gifts, fundraisers, they plan fun school events, they provide assistance for our families, and so much more. And another point of pride is people want to be at Clearwater. Our enrollment is very high. We have 83 students who are either non-resident or limited choice because families are choosing to be at our school. So while it does increase our class sizes, it is something to be proud of because people are choosing our school and they want to be at Clearwater. So coming back to some of that data, with our iRead celebrations, we were recognized by the state at the beginning of the school year for outstanding iRead results from last school year. And we've continued to see that success this year. So far, 92% of our third graders have passed iRead. We're doing retakes this week, and we anticipate having a few more students pass, so that will increase. But this is the highest pass rate in the district, and it's our school's highest pass rate since Clearwater opened. So as you know, we had 96% pass last year. That was after the retakes in the spring. So we anticipate being higher than that after the retakes this week. We also had our highest second grade pass rate. Last year, we were at 69% of our second graders passing iRead, and so far we have 73% passing in second grade. Again, we anticipate that will be higher after some of the retakes this week, but highest scores that we've seen, so that's very exciting. With WIDA, we also have a lot to celebrate there. We have an amazing ENL teacher and teachers who are very dedicated to collaborating with our ENL team to make sure that our English learners are being successful. We had 10 students who exited the program this year out of 55 students who took WIDA. We also had 4 out of those 10 students who scored 100% on the test. And we have 17 students who are at a level 4, which is almost a third of our testers. And 10 of them are at a 4.5 or higher. So that is a lot to celebrate. It is very difficult to pass WIDA and get out of it. So having that many kids that are exiting that quickly is really something to celebrate. And then the last thing, Clearwater was recognized last month at TitleCon for being an ESEA Distinguished School finalist. So we were very proud of that. That is due to our use of Title I funds, as well as our test scores and all of the other things that make our school successful. So some areas to continue to grow. We obviously want to continue to grow our iRead scores. We'd love to have 100% in third grade and in second grade. So we will continue to work with small groups of students to make sure that we're pushing all students to pass that test. We'd also like to see increased iLearn proficiency in ELA and in math. And we plan to work with students to continue to decrease our chronic absenteeism. We have really focused on attendance this year, and we have seen an increase in our number of students that are attending school every day. So that's a celebration, but we still have a little bit of work to do in that area with supporting our students. And then the last thing, we just want to continue to push our English learners to exit the ENL program. We are doing good work with this, but we will continue to work in small groups, providing accommodations and making sure that we're meeting their needs so that they can continue to grow in their English proficiency. So some of the practices that helped to show that achievement, we are doing daily small group instruction in both reading and math, and those groupings are fluid based on data. We also hold weekly PLC meetings in all of our grade levels where we're looking at data, using that data to drive instructional decisions such as small groups, or if we have a large number of students who didn't grasp a concept, then doing more of that whole group teaching. We are also doing weekly planning with teachers, with our instructional coaches, to ensure that we're aligning to standards and that our teachers have a deep understanding of the curriculum. That's been especially important this year. As you know, we adopted a new ELA curriculum, and so that's been a learning curve for everyone. Our coaches have been staying ahead of our teachers and making sure that they know what's coming when it comes to the curriculum so that they can really support our teachers. And we've seen a lot of success with that, just having someone to ask questions of and to support our teachers with that. As I mentioned in the beginning, we're also doing some professional development around student engagement. So we've been doing Kagan Cooperative Learning. And some of you joined our school for our spotlight on Monday and saw that in action, but our kids are up moving and talking and all students are engaged. And so we're really able to hold our students accountable and make sure that everyone is participating in all of our lessons. As I mentioned, we also have an increased focus on student attendance this year. And we had 7 teachers who participated in Flessner Math PD and letters training, and they've been disseminating that learning to the rest of our teachers to make sure that we're not just educating a few of our teachers on some of these things, but we're really bringing that learning back to our entire staff. And so now we're going to celebrate a few people. So first, we're going to celebrate a couple of students who are receiving the Changemaker student recognition. So at Clearwater Elementary, our 4th and 5th grade students are proudly serving as mentors to our kindergarten through 3rd grade students as part of our student mentoring program. This initiative builds leadership, responsibility, and community as our upper grade students support younger peers through friendship, guidance, and positive role modeling. Together, they are building meaningful connections that strengthen our school culture and support student success at every level. Today, we are recognizing 2 of our outstanding mentors, although we have a total of 50 students participating in this outstanding program who all deserve recognition for their hard work. Please help me thank Grayson Townsend and Ben Turchin for serving as outstanding mentors this school year. And next, we're going to recognize a couple of our parents. Actually, happens to be these 2 gentlemen's mothers who we are celebrating. Great families supporting Clearwater. So we are incredibly lucky to have an amazingly supportive PTO at Clearwater Elementary. In addition to planning fun events to get families involved in our school community, they also provide a great deal of support to our teachers and our students. Our teachers receive generous gift cards at the beginning of each school year to purchase supplies for their classroom. PTO also provides holiday gifts for each staff member, stocks the teacher's lounge with treats multiple times a year, and celebrates teachers and staff during all of the different appreciation days and weeks throughout the year. Our PTO also organizes fundraisers, Dine to Donate events, and offers PTO grants to fund field trips, and they also support our families with clothing or other items that they may need. So our 2 PTO presidents, Katie Townsend and Steph Turchin, were instrumental in ensuring that all of these events went smoothly throughout the school year. They're incredibly organized, great communicators, and have done a phenomenal job of cultivating a positive relationship between the school and our families. So we are very grateful for their time and dedication to Clearwater. Thank you. And last, we have a very special community partner that we would like to recognize. We are very blessed with many great community partners at Clearwater, and tonight we're excited to celebrate the Assistance League of Indianapolis Reading Buddies program. Our Reading Buddies volunteered in our 1st grade classrooms each week to conduct read-alouds of engaging text and discuss content to develop comprehension and communication skills. The Buddy program is designed with support in each participating classroom with 1 adult reader and 1 helper to engage and converse about the text or story. Volunteers enrich our students' lives by providing varied perspectives and mentorship to our students. In addition to volunteering their time, nearly 300 high-quality books were donated to our 1st grade students. We are proud to celebrate Lisa Plank and Mary Seat, the co-chairs of the Reading Buddies program, to receive this award on behalf of the Assistance League of Indianapolis.
Dr. Woodson.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Douglas and Clearwater. Congratulations on all that you've accomplished so far. Next on the agenda is superintendent's announcements. Dr. Woodson.
Thank you, President Turner. Good evening, members of the board and to our community. We do have some important announcements in your board docs with lots of little details. First, we have some legislative updates, and I did want to announce that the next school board meeting on June 11th, we will be doing an info item for the board on the legislative implications to Washington Township specifically. Helping us with that will be Dr. Marcotte, who's the executive director for the Indiana Urban Schools Association. So any questions you have or things that you've been mulling over in your mind as that session concluded, we will have ample time to digest that June 11th. Also have two articles for you in light of the legislative session. One of the articles I really appreciated reading was from Harvard Business Review. It's titled "In Uncertain Times, Ask These Questions Before You Make a Decision." Very, very good article. And then unfortunately, Indiana opted out of the summer program for hungry children and certainly wanted the board educated on that. And there's an article about that. Some really exciting upcoming dates. Mr. Harris, the last day for school is, do you know off the top of your head? 22nd. The 22nd. Kids know those dates. The 22nd. Great job. And then we will celebrate with all of our staff on May 23rd, another exciting school year at North Central Auditorium at 8 a.m. And certainly the school board is invited for that big party. And then the biggest culminating event of our work as K-12 educators happens on the 28th at the State Fairgrounds by ticket only, but it is our commencement program at 7 p.m. Those who don't have tickets, it will be broadcast live on the North Central Facebook page and website. Principal Rent is nodding his head that I was correct with all of that. So the whole community can tune in for that. I call it the Super Bowl for education. That's what we work towards, is that commencement. Speaking of our seniors this year, Mr. Rent organized with his team a first of what I hope will be an ongoing tradition, but it was a senior parade this year for all of our 2025 seniors to be able to walk the halls of their former elementary and middle schools in Washington Township. It was a heartfelt and emotional parade as both seniors, seeing their former teachers and administrators, were both emotional, along with staff welcoming back their former students for one last goodbye. Especially touching was watching the elementary and middle school students with their eyes on the seniors, in awe of seeing them in their cap and gowns. And one little, probably first grade, maybe at Crooked Creek, sitting in the hallway, was looking up as the parade was going by in their black and red robes and said, "Will I get to wear one of those one day?" And I bent down and said, "Sweetheart, if you work hard, you sure will." So it was just a really meaningful time, but you've got access to all of the photos as well as a recap video that you're welcome to share. As we close out the year, we are closing out our current district strategic plan, as well as our school improvement plans. You have access in your board docs to the information about that. That is modified a little bit this year. Dr. Taylor is working on the finishing touches on the new district strategic plan that the board will approve this summer and will launch next school year. So plenty of details for you there. I have some kudos for a dynamic duo that happens to be in the room. I received a kudos for Mr. and Mrs. Rent based on all that they do for their dedication to students. The board has the entire commentary from this parent, but this parent said, "It makes me so proud to see community leaders continue to show up and engage of lots of different things within our district. Both of you are easy to approach and talk with. Thank you both again for all of your time, both public and behind the scenes, to the community as a whole." So kudos to Mr. and Mrs. Rent, our dynamic duo. And finally, Mr. Harris has been in my inbox probably for 2 years. It's rare that I get emails from students. Mr. Thompson was one. He emailed me when he was a student. But Mr. Harris expressed his interest in becoming an educator, and not just an educator, wants to become possibly a superintendent one day. And so I have been over to Eastwood to speak with Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris, from time to time, will send me a project he's working on in class, and I may give him some feedback or encouragement. And then he reached out one more time to say, "Hey, before retirement, is it possible that I could shadow you?" And of course, Dr. Woodson had to say yes. So I was pleased to have him here tonight. He looks sharp in his North Central tie, all dressed up. But very, very proud of you, Mr. Harris. This is for you, just to recognize your shadowing time and a little backpack filled with some swag for you. But certainly before you leave, I would love to have you walk and shake the board's hand as well. Thank you for all you've done tonight. Great job.
Congratulations, sir.
I was literally just like you.
Go get her.
Oh, he's gonna bring her up.
Yeah, come on up.
Yeah, he was gonna introduce his family. They came to support him tonight.
This is my baby brother David. This is my little sister Ayana. And this is my mother Jennifer.
Good job.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry.
Kiddo.
How you
Yes.
guys doing?
Yeah.
Great job tonight. That's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. Whitson. It's always good. One, for recognition night, and then
Yes.
recognition night we had tonight, school spotlights. And you have students who are looking past what they're currently doing to what their future might be. So appreciate everybody for being here. As we move on through our agenda, the next item on the agenda, oh, and by the way, Mr. Rent's still here? I'm still trying to get one of those North Central ties, man. Every year they're sold out. I can't get a tie. Okay. I didn't mean it that way. I was just asking. We're going to go comments from the public. Are there any members of the public that would like to make a comment this evening? Seeing none, I will move on to the next item on the agenda, which is our consent agenda. Dr. Taylor.
President Turner, members of the board, and Dr. Woodson, I recommend that you approve the consent agenda for this meeting. This consent agenda includes approval of the minutes of the April 23rd, 2025 board meeting, approval of 3 payroll calculation summary reports, a claims docket in the amount of $9,054,710.86, a human resources report containing for classified personnel, 11 new hires, it's numbers 231 through 241, 1 resignation, number 130, 4 leaves, numbers 43 through 46, 9 terminations, numbers 34 through 42. For certified personnel, we have 12 new appointments, that's numbers 1 through 12, 9 resignations, numbers 188 through 196, 1 retirement, number 11, 4 transfers, that's for 25-26 school year, that's numbers 3 through number 6. And then 3 maternity, child rearing, or adoptions, numbers 2 through 4. There are no non-competitive grants, gifts, or donations to present for board approval this evening. With that, I'll open it up to any questions the board may have.
Board have questions?
Not a question, but just a comment. There's one person on those retirements, and I know there's some other ones retiring, and I know we're gonna celebrate them next week, but man, we have some real North Central institutions retiring. And I'm very happy for them, but I don't know, I just felt like I had to say, oh my gosh, yes, we're approving this as a consent agenda, but we're really saying goodbye to some amazing long-term folks here, and I wish them the best.
Other questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion first of all.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented by Dr. Taylor.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Dr. Taylor.
Before we transition, I know Dr. Kaiser has an announcement to make.
Thank you, Dr. Taylor, Dr. Woodson, President Turner, and members of the board. In approving the consent agenda a few moments ago, you approved a change in the leadership team at North Central High School that we wanted to be sure to highlight. At this time, I'd like to ask Mrs. Christy Korn to join Dr. Woodson and the board. Mrs. Korn has served as assistant principal at North Central High School since 2014. And prior to coming to NC, she began her career as an English, health, and physical education teacher and varsity coach. She then transitioned to school counseling, eventually becoming a counseling director. And while in that role, she served as president of the Indiana Association of College Admission Counseling. She has served on the legislative committee of the National Association of College Admissions Counseling and was vice chair of the Council on Standards for International Education Travel. In her current role as assistant principal at North Central, Mrs. Korn is the master schedule builder, summer school administrator, AVID coordinator, Panther Exploration Project coordinator, modern apprenticeship coordinator, all while also overseeing the class of 2025. The staff at North Central and in the district as a whole know Mrs. Korn to be a servant leader who is passionate about keeping students' best interests at the center of her work and providing support to teachers, staff, and the entire NC community. This is why it is with my deepest respect and admiration that I welcome Mrs. Korn in her new role as Associate Principal of North Central High School.
Congratulations.
And with that, I will turn things back over to you, President Turner.
Thank you. Next on the agenda are our action items. The first action item is approval of sublease consent with Building Corporation. Mr. Mays.
Good evening. I'm the Director of Operations and I'm Miss Britton Smith. Thank you, President Turner and Dr. Woodson and members of the board. Yes, and so we are going to tag team the next four agenda items. And I just wanted to give a brief introduction and then I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Mays so that he can do that first action item. But these four action items that we're bringing to you tonight for approval has to do with sports league organizations that utilize our property and playing fields at Clearwater Elementary School. And we have been working with the two organizations, Allisonville Youth Baseball and Softball and Glendale Soccer, for several years now to develop a land lease. And this is not something new to the district. We've been doing that along the way with other organizations that utilize our properties. And so we are excited that we are at this place in our journey with bringing the land leases to you tonight. It's been a long time coming, but it has been a collaborative process. The district has continued to work with the organizations and has been diligent to get to the place that we are tonight. Along with the land leases, what's also included in the land lease is information that will take care of a zoning violation that we had regarding a gravel parking lot at Clearwater Elementary School. So Mr. Mays, our legal counsel, and I are going to tag team that. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Mays, and he is going to provide approval for that first action item, which is the sublease.
Thank you very much. It's good to be with you this evening and fitting to have Clearwater be the spotlight tonight. So we're going to go back in time to the creation of Clearwater, and what we're presenting tonight for approval is a consent to sublease under school financing laws. What's called a lease finance structure. Property is transferred to a nonprofit entity, School Building Corporation, leased back to the district for 20 odd years, and those bonds remain outstanding. And so we're still under that lease. And so we are essentially subleasing this property to what will be presented in a few moments, Allisonville Youth baseball and softball, and then also Glendale soccer. And so the first step in that process, as outlined by the lease between the building corporation and the district, is to have a consent to a sublease. And it's a very simple process. And so we submit that for approval tonight as that first item.
Board have questions on the first part.
Yeah, my only question is, so the building corporation is a non-for-profit, but like we own the building corporation? Like I'm confused.
Yeah, and so as a nonprofit, there isn't really ownership.
Right.
But this is a function of Indiana code. Indiana code outlines all of this process, and and then it also is outlined by Internal Revenue Code provisions because it deals with public financing and selling of bonds on a market. And so the board appoints the members of the school building corporation. As Mr. Turner will remember, I think the last time we did that was probably 15 years ago, maybe
been a
10
while.
years ago. It's been a while. We go through that process and appoint the building corporation, create the building corporation that was created a long time ago, appoint the members, and then from time to time, depending on the financing, it's all a function of analyzing the financing and what's required. There may be property that's transferred into the building corporation. As the bonds roll off, the property reverts back to the school district. So that property will, once the bonds are paid off, the lease ends, and the property then return back to the school district.
Gotcha. So in effect, though, tonight we're approving that as the school district, as representative of the school district, we're approving you guys the ability to sublease it for the specific purpose of Allisonville and Glendale soccer.
Yes, and in a moment, but at this particular motion presented is just to approve a consent with the school building corporation as the first step, and then we'll present the leases for Allisonville and Glendale.
Other questions? Entertain a motion.
Move to approve the sublease consent with building corporation as presented by Mr. Mays.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Mr. Mays. Next action item, approval of land usage lease with Allisonville Youth Baseball and Softball Incorporated. Mrs. Britton Smith and Mr. Mays.
Thank you, President Turner. Yes, we are seeking approval for a lease with Allisonville Youth Baseball and Softball Incorporated. The lease is effective date is of May 1st, 2025, but it is retroactive back to March 1st, 2025, and it expires February 28th, 2060, which is a 35-year lease. Along with the lease is also, it is with AYBS and Glendale Soccer combined. They are responsible for covering the soft and hard cost of the paved parking lot. And then also the district also contributed funds to the project. In addition to covering the cost of the paving project, the annual rent for AYBS is also $1,338.65. And in your board packet, you'll see that that base rent will have an increase of 25% in 10-year increments. At this time, I am asking for approval for the lease with Allisonville Youth Baseball and Softball Incorporated, unless Mr. Mays has something else to offer.
Questions, board? If none, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the lease with Allisonville Youth Baseball and Softball Incorporated as presented by Mrs. Britton Smith. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Next action item, approval of land usage lease with Glendale Soccer Association Incorporated, Mrs. Britton Smith and Mr. Mays.
Thank you again, President Turner. I'm seeking approval of the lease with Glendale Soccer Association Incorporated. And this again is a land lease at Clearwater Elementary School. And this lease's effective date is May 1st, 2025, but again, retroactively begins March 1st, 2025 and expires February 28th, 2060, a 35-year lease. Just as with AYBS, Glendale Soccer will also be responsible for covering the soft and hard cost of the paving parking lot project. And again, the district has contributed a portion of the project as well. The base rent for Glendale Soccer is $1,335.33. And again, this base rent will have an increase of 25% in 10-year increments. And so at this time, I am seeking approval for the lease with Glendale Soccer Association.
Mrs. George Davis?
I guess this could go for either one. I know the other one is already done. I see here that it says we control the selection of the contractor. Are they seeking the bids and then we pick, or are we handling that entire process?
The district will be handling and managing that entire project.
Okay, thank you.
And so I would imagine when we finish with this action item, Mr. Mays may have some additional remarks regarding the process of the project.
Other questions? If not, entertain a motion.
The land use lease with Glendale Soccer Association Incorporated as presented by Ms. Britton Smith.
Second.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, approval of design engineering services with American Structure Point, Inc., Clearwater Parking Lot. Mrs. Britton Smith. Mrs. Britton Smith.
Thank you again, President Turner. I am here seeking approval of the design and engineering services with American Structure Point Incorporated, and this is for the Clearwater Parking Lot project. You do have a full comprehensive agreement in your board packet, and just to highlight, it does include final site and permit construction plans, a landscape design, legal descriptions, and some supporting documents. And then also the process with the bidding and the construction administration. Also, you have an outline included in the packet in regards to the overall project. The amount for the contract is $23,000 even. And the funding source is a agreed upon, it's coming from an account that is with a local bank, and both organizations, GSA and Glendale Soccer, have contributed to that account that helps to cover this project, along with then the district has a portion that they also are contributing. So at this time, I am seeking approval for the design and engineering services with American Structure Point Incorporated in the amount of $23,000.
Any questions, board? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve the design engineering services with American Structure Point, Inc., Clearwater Parking Lot as presented by Ms. Britton Smith.
Been moved and seconded. Before I call the vote, I just want to say something so that Ms. Britton Smith opened up, giving the narrative of what happened and how we got to this particular point. But I think I just want to add a little bit more to it, saying that this has been it's been a long process, but it's been a back and forth, and sometimes maybe even to a stopping point process, but we got through it. And I just want to publicly congratulate the team from the district that actually went through all this work as a group and got us to this point. Because at one point it was basically dead in the water, but you were able to make sure that we got through it and had all parties' best interest in heart. So I do appreciate that, and I just wanted to say that publicly. This was not easy to do, but we appreciate the work. So with that, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
And then if I could just highlight what to expect coming down the road. Design should be done by mid to late June. We then will have to submit for approval to the city, the permitting process. That may take anywhere from 3 months to 25 years, but 3 to 5 months more reasonably. And then because we're dealing with asphalt in Indiana, those hot asphalt mix plants close generally from around November and then reopen in April. So during that closure period, we'll put it out for bid, select a contractor with the idea that construction or paving starts in May, June, July of 2026 is when we can expect to see that along those timelines. Maybe sooner, maybe this fall, we'll see. But with the idea that August 1st of 2026, it'll be complete. So that's the plan right now.
Thank you. Next action item, approval of recertification resolution, Mr. Mays.
Yes, before you is a simple resolution to track Indiana law and some changes that have recently happened linked to not only the census that happened it was supposed to happen in 2020, got delayed until 2021, and there was still some delay after that, but then also linked to IPS and its redistricting, redrawing some district boundaries within its own boundaries. Mrs. George Davis, when she was president last year, you may recall some email correspondence on that very technical matter. And now that we've gone through that, we and the other township schools are going forward with either recertifying that we're staying with the existing districts, board districts, that we're not making any changes, or school corporations have the option of redrawing their district lines or restructuring them. We're choosing to keep ours the same. And so this is a very simple resolution to get on file with the clerk.
Board have questions? Entertain a motion?
I move we approve the recertification resolution as presented by Mr. Mays.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further questions? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Mays.
Thank you.
Next action item, approval of Next Gen SIG school improvement grants. Dr. Pettigrew.
Good evening, Board President Turner, Dr. Woodson, members of the board. After reviewing the Next Gen School Improvement Grant information from the IDOE, we are seeking permission to apply for the grant. 5 of our schools have been identified for improvement by the Department of Education. Greenbrier and Fox Hill Elementary are our CSI schools, which stands for Comprehensive School Improvement. And our middle schools, Northview, Eastwood, and West Lane, are TSI, or Targeted School Improvement. We are eligible to apply for up to $300,000 in the initial planning year and up to $3 million over the course of 3 additional years, totaling 4 years. The multi-school grant option would be advantageous for our district, allowing us to address some of the challenges that we see in our schools. Our chosen intervention priority will be personalized and differentiated instruction model that increases opportunities for teacher collaboration and considers individual student needs. We are currently engaged in thoughtful deliberation around specific goals for the grant. We are ensuring that our proposal will address the unique needs of each school while having a comprehensive improvement strategy across the 5. We are on track to submit our application by the end of the month with your approval. At this time, I ask for your permission to apply for the school improvement grant. I am available for questions.
Mrs. George Davis.
I'm not sure if I saw it or not when I read through this, but can you just briefly tell me the difference between the comprehensive and the targeted?
Yep. So the CSI schools, you will notice that there will be demographics that have had lower results over at least 2 consecutive years. And then the TSI will essentially be schools that have been rated by the federal government as being in the bottom 5% of Title I schools.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Ms. Fry.
Yep.
Just looking through this, sorry, trying to get back to it. Did you mention which of the intervention models you're aiming for?
So we are looking, no. We're thinking of transformation, but we are still in deliberation. For the intervention priority, it will be differentiated learning, but we have not decided yet what it will be. We assume based on our last proposal from last year that it will be just transformation.
Other questions? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
Move to approve the next gen SIG as presented by Dr. Pettigrew.
It's been moved and seconded. Any other comments? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Dr. Pettigrew. Next action item, approval of pre-K to third grade SEL curriculum contract with Comichis. This is Dots. Did I do it right?
No, but I'll get you.
Okay. I've been over here practicing.
Good evening, Dr. Woodson, President Turner, and school board members. Tonight, I am here to seek your approval to move forward with the agreement with School Care Team to purchase SEL curriculum for our students in pre-K through third grade. Over the past year, I've worked with school teams to identify priorities. I've coordinated SEL pilot projects to test out instructional materials, and I've engaged various educational partners to select SEL curriculum that is developmentally appropriate, engaging, and easy to implement with our elementary students. In order to support our students as they develop future-ready mindsets and behaviors, we must ensure there is a guaranteed viable curriculum to support teachers as they intentionally are teaching. We have identified Komochis, which is Japanese for feeling, for our youngest learners, and Be Good People for our 4th and 5th graders. While there is no cost to access Be Good People curriculum, we do have a Komochis contract to present to you tonight. Komochis provides an engaging, research-based approach to help pre-K through third grade students develop emotional awareness, communication skills, and self-regulation strategies. By integrating Komochis into daily instruction throughout the day, educators can foster a positive learning environment, reduce behavioral challenges, and support academic success, ensuring that students are socially and academically prepared for learning. Through grant funds supplied through a nonprofit called School Care Team, we will only pay for 40% of the cost of the Komochis instructional materials. And I'd like to seek your approval to enter into an agreement with School Care Team. I'll answer any questions you may have.
Board, have questions? Mrs. Fry?
I'm kind of trying to understand well, first of all, okay, sorry. So Komochis, is that a brand name? Like, who are we buying the Komochi stuff from?
It's a little complicated, but School Care Team is a nonprofit. They're actually based out of Northern Indiana. A lot of their funding comes from the Indiana Division of Mental Health and Addiction. And so they have a lot of grant funding to support work that they do with school districts. They're kind of new into the central region of the state. They've partnered with a lot of school districts in Northern Indiana. They have come alongside us actually to do a pilot with Komochis in a few of our elementary schools where we've had some really amazing testimonials occurring. I should have brought my kit. I have a kit in my office. The whole idea is that it is helping students develop language for how they are feeling so that they can talk about their feelings. They can talk about issues that may be happening socially. It is actually a set of stuffed animals with little feeling pillows. I think in maybe one of the documents, if you don't have it in your board docs, I'm happy to share it, but I have something with lots of links where you could kind of see it in action.
On the website.
Yes.
Hugtopus. But yeah, I was trying to understand more, like, because it's, because this is going through the
School Care Team.
Right, but then Komochis is like a separate company.
Correct. Komochis is the company. Through School Care Team, they're able to subsidize the cost of it. And then also what's really nice is School Care Team, they provide support along the way. So they do our training is included. They have come in and co-taught or modeled lessons in our elementaries, even during our pilot that we did. So really excited for the level of support that we'll receive through School Care Team 2.
Thank you. I just wanted to kind of clarify, they're kind of two
Yes,
entities.
correct.
That's
Mrs.
all.
Horf, I'm sorry. Thank you. Mrs. Horf Kruger?
And also to clarify, so this program is pre-K through 3, but that's all schools, all elementary schools.
Correct. It will be at the
Learn through-
Early Learning Center
Yes.
in addition to all 8 elementary schools.
Other questions? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
Move that we approve, the pre-K to 3rd grade SEL curriculum contract with Kimochi's and actually
School Care Team.
Care Team as presented by Mrs. Stotts.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you, Mrs. Dotson. And the last action item is approval of the 2025-2026 robotics competition grant. Mr. Blum.
Good evening, Dr. Woodson, President Turner, members of the board. I come to you this evening seeking approval for our submission of a K-12 robotics competition grant that could total up to $100,000. This is a competitive grant aimed to expand opportunities to increase interest and improve skills in STEM through participation in competitive robotics programs. Primary goals include providing hands-on learning experiences, establishing community partnerships to increase awareness of local workforce and post-secondary opportunities, highlighting career opportunities through adult mentors, prioritizing a connection to manufacturing, machining, and fabrication skills. Last year, we had a successful grant application that provided just over $81,000 to help support teams at North Central and JEL, all 3 middle schools, and 6 of our elementaries. This year, all of the elementary schools will have teams, and several schools are expanding to include even more students. The grant application is due this Friday, and the grant cycle is July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Board, questions? Mrs. George Davis?
I'm not sure if I zoned out when you said this, but this is just to support, I know all of the elementaries had teams. Is this to support those teams or expansion, or can you just?
Yeah, it's a significant amount of money per team, and that's why it's listed as up to $100,000. We won't know for sure until it's approved exactly how much we receive. Each school,
So that's
all schools and it will be K to 12 this year, all 8 elementaries, all middle, and North Central / JEL.
Okay, perfect. I think that's where I dipped out. Thank you.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the 2025-2026 robotics competition grant
Second.
as presented by Mr. Blum.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any other questions or comments? I will throw in a quick comment. So I just want to say, those that may not have known, back in the day, we may have started the robotics competition or robotics classes at Allisonville, I believe, right? Wasn't that the first?
For elementary, it probably was.
Elementary, right? Elementary. And that's been a while, but now it's great to see us expand this, and we've expanded it before this grant application. That's awesome to see. Again, another prime example of how STEM works in this Washington Township school system. So appreciate the work that everybody's been doing. And I have not been to one, but I know they're very competitive and fun for the students too.
I witnessed a buzzer beater at a competition. I didn't even know that was a thing this year, but it was a real exciting moment for, I think it was the Nora team. So yes, if you haven't been, next season we'll get you to the schedule.
Yeah, I need to go next season, so I appreciate that. Without any other comments, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you very much.
And we don't have a next agenda item for the action items. So special events or liaison reports, Mrs. Horf Kruger.
Thank you, President Turner. I attended the North Central High School rededication ceremony, which was amazing. A lot of us were there for that. I also was able to attend the Clearwater tour earlier this week with Mr. Thompson, and that was great. Some updates from the foundation. They had celebrations at their last meeting, including celebrating the fact that the foundation was able to help support the graduation parade. They also celebrated Dr. Woodson because that was her official last meeting. Also celebrated Panther Pathways. They have over $400,000 of private investment to support the district and expansion of college and career efforts. And also they celebrated 2 of their foundation fellows and welcome 2 more. And that is an incredible program. Lastly, they approved their budget with a 5% increase to support over a 5% increase over last year in support for next year. So very good updates from the foundation.
Thank you. Ms. Fry?
I was forgot about this part of the agenda. So the only thing I can think of off the top of my head is I was able to participate in the community interview process for the open position for the Director of Human Resources. So we had 4 candidates there and look forward to that process continuing.
Thank you. Mr. Thompson?
Yes, I got to do all the stuff that Ms. Horth Kruger said, but I also went to Fort Wayne with a lot of our operations team and Dr. Taylor to celebrate Miss Reitenauer being named Treasurer of the Year. So that was a lot of fun and got to celebrate her. Also got to spend some time with Mr. Turner at the Indy Reads breakfast a few weeks ago. This evening, I went to Eastwood to celebrate the track and field recognition. So I did that right before this, and also got to go to the rededication, as well as what else did I do? I can't keep up, but really great time to be at the end of the school year and do a lot of celebrations and recognition. So I'm grateful.
Thank you. Mr. George Davis?
I definitely don't have Mr. Thompson's energy or 2 working feet. Limited mobility. I attended the rededication and I am on my way to the boys' final track meets because I don't have a senior, but it's senior night and he has several friends that are seniors. So I'm going to hobble over there as soon as we adjourn.
Thank you. And I will just say that the main thing was the North Central rededication, but I will say something about this. When you look at how they've, anytime you do remodeling and you change things around, it's amazing how all those things fit in the regular part of the building before, when you look at the office space and the way it's laid out. And then we didn't get to see the NC on the side that day, but seeing the NC, that's really, that tops it off. But I will say one thing about the rededication was Dr. White, having Dr. White there and actually recognizing him inside the vestibule or inside the lobby with a plaque and some of his quotes. So I thought that was pretty special, and hopefully he did too. So with that, anything else good for the order?
One more thing I was going to say. On Monday night, the Washington Township Schools Foundation had their Alumni Achievement Night. And that was amazing. We inducted 3 Hall of Fame members into the Alumni Hall of Fame, as well as recognized 10 students, alumni who graduated less than 10 years ago, and recognized select scholarship recipients. So that was a really, really cool thing too.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
That's good. That was awesome.
Thank you. Other than that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Second?
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Absolutely.
Okay. We adjourn.